Industrial relations and trade unions is representative in the major elements of work between the employer and employees. These major elements have their own needs. For example, employer goals are to get the profit in their company, while the need of the employees is to get a better wages and benefit, which is trade unions use their power to ensure the worker will get better salaries and also to ensure the employees get the personal protection when the employer treats the employees unfairly. And the trade unions will defend the rights of employees. Then the goal of the trade unions is to protect and give the benefit to their member in the workplace. Trade unions, often known as unionism, are associations founded by employees from similar sectors to strive for the collective good of its member. Act 262 of 1959 established the Trade Union Act. They assist employees with concerns such as wage equity, pleasant work conditions, work hours, and benefits. Furthermore, in Malaysia, there are three sorts of trade unions such as public sector, private sector, and employers' union. It serves as a channel of communication between staff and management. The trade union establishment's objective is to encourage the industrial, social, and intellectual interests of its member, to acquire and sustain for its participants equality and proper rates of remuneration, security of employment, and flexible hour and working environment, to endorse the material, social, and educational public assistance of the associates, and to promote legislation affecting the rights of people in specific or union member in overall. A healthy industrial relation aids in the efficient and profitable operation of a business.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is NURUL HAFIZAH binti MOHAMAD. I come from class AM 1105A, and today I will present about the Director General of Trade Unions and also Director General of Industrial Relations. Okay, in Malaysia, Director General Trade Union has a power in registration of the trade unions. Also in section 12 of the trade unions, the Director General has a power to refuse the register of particular trade union. Then the Trade Union Act was provides the act that employees in the public sector can only form and join a trade union as a member and in the same ministry, department or occupation. For example, QPAD, which consists the same occupation as a member in their trade unions. In addition, the rule of the trade unions need to sign at least 7 members of the unions, also need to meet in a prescribed form and accompanied by the prescribed fee, which is accompanied by a printed copy of the rules of the unions signed by the members making the application. Industrial relation was includes with any other official acting on his behalf. Also, Director General Industrial Relation Malaysia, it is the head of Industrial Relation Department, as we call as Jabatan Perhubungan Perusahaan Malaysia in Malay. Then the objective of this industrial relation is to ensure the harmonious relationship between the employees and the employer, which is the Director General Industrial Relation will use their power to provide conciliation service to the employees and employer for ensure the problems between them will be resolved. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
First difference between Dgtu and Dgir is the limit of power available. First, Dgtu. It has a wide range of powers compared to the Dgir, including the ability to register and deregister trade unions, as well as the ability to manage the funds and accounts of trade unions. However, the Dgtu has a limited ability to cancel the trade union registration if the certificate of registration was obtained or issued by fraud or mistake, or if any one of the trade union's objectives or rules is unlawful, or if the Dgtu determines that the trade union is a threat to national security. The Dgtu has the authority to investigate a trade union's books and records in terms of fund and account. In addition, the Dgtu has the ability to freeze the money of a labor organization. While for DGIR, with its limited powers, the DGIR acts as an intermediary between the parties involved, union and employer, in resolving recognition and trade disputes by providing advice and proposal until both parties have accepted to the DGIR's proposed solution. Conciliation method is the name given to this process. For example, employer recognition. DGIR will conduct a secret poll to determine whether the majority of employees support the trade union or not once the Dgtu has determined that the trade union is competent. Minister of Human Resources will make the final decision on whether or not the trade union will be recognized by the government. We could see that the DGIR's authority is limited. Thus, it must work with the Dgtu to perform a proficiency review. When the DGIR receives the statement from the Dgtu, he will use his authority to hold a secret ballot. Before executing a secret ballot, the DGIR must first ensure that the trade union has the majority approval to defend the employee.
First of all, I will explain the first point for the differentiate power between the Director General Trade Union from Director General Industrial Relation, which is the ways to resolve problem and dispute, which is the Director General Industrial Relations, or known as DGIR, will apply the conciliation approach that which involve providing assistance to both the unions and the company. If both parties accept the DGIR's advice or opinions, the conflict is resolved and the matter is ended. If neither side does not agree on a solution, the DGIR will transmit the issue to the superior party, which is the Minister of Human Resources. However, even though the both sides are unable to come to an agreement, the minister will direct the matter to the industrial court, which will determine whether the award is granted to the employer or the trade union, or known as workers' associations. Furthermore, for the second point, which is the Director General may refer them to any dispute settlement machinery that established by the parties, if any, so that conciliation could be either volunteer or necessary. The Director General may urge the side to give relevant material to the disagreement, as well as a declaration outlining which issue have been accepted upon and which are in disagreement for the purpose of conciliation. Officers from the Department of Industrial Relations are in charge of these conciliations. However, the Minister of Human Resources has the authority to mediate any trade dispute if he believes that his expertise will be beneficial in resolving this disagreement. For the last point, which is when the range of a worker's obligations varies from one large entity to the next, employees more prefer to abuse the situation in a range of methods. For example, employers use strategies such as rearrange employment roles in their particular organization, calling into the workers' workcast. Even when the Dgtu and DGIR have different abilities, they still make this with each other. For example, the DGIR may request that the Dgtu undertake a competence-based check before the DGIR once conducting the secret ballot. That's all from me. In a conclusion, we can conclude that Dgtu and DGIR have their own power in their position to improve the relation between the employee and the employer. Dgtu has a wide power compared to DGIR in terms of register and deregister in a trade union. The limit power of DGIR, which is to advise and give a suggestion to help solve the recognition or the trade dispute. Dgtu and DGIR need to cooperate with each other in order to give a good relation of the trade union to support the worker.